Hey everybody, welcome. It's Taco Talk with Ninja Steve here, and I'm gonna talk and whatever because I'm waiting for somebody to show up, and then I can get into this. Anyway, here's a little taco purse. Yes, how's everybody doing? We're drowning out here in California. Luckily in San Diego. Anybody here yet? Three? Okay, three people. That we're gonna go. Okay, cool. So, hey, everybody. So listen, I don't know if anyone was here from last week. Maybe you just want to say hi if you were here from last week, if this is a brand new project for you or not. But I started this super cool hat. It's a cap. It's actually called a Garrison cap, but anyway. Um, but this is what those that weren't here, or hey Jennifer, hi, how you doing? Um, Thanks for saying hi. Um, I started this last week, and I wanted to go over a couple of things because as I worked, hi Teresa, um, you learn things. So sometimes you learn as you go, and this was something new for me. So I was like, let's see what happens. This is a hard vinyl. And so you're going to ask what kind of glue. And before I answer that, I want to say that some things you need to think about is, yeah, you want the glue that's going to be best appropriate for the surface you're working on. But also you have to remember, hi Liz, is this something that's going to be, manhandled? Is this going to sit on a shelf? What is the use of it's going to be? Because you can get away with not using more, say, advanced glues or something that might be a little tricky to work with if you haven't worked with it for the first time. So listen, this is a hard vinyl, and I used fusion-tack because, like this purse, it's a different type of vinyl. You can see it's quite flexible, and the stones are staying on. So this will sit on someone's head, and this is going to be the extent of the movement. I have like bent it around and moved it, and the crystals, and there's pearls in this, and there's a link on the announcement for an Amazon thing for these. These are just plastic pearls. Um, okay, use data. I don't know how use data. That's an interesting name, but I'm sure you have an actual name. But so the thing is that I'm pretty good. I'm pretty safe with this fusion-tack. As I said last week, um, no, I'll get what I said last week. What I wanted to tell you is that this material, you can see it's white, but there's like almost silver glitter in. Hi, Miss Mary. There is some white glitter almost in the vinyl. So you have to think. We love to back paint or have the back color match the crystals. So I knew I wanted to use pearls because I just think it's a great texture. I'll put this in the canvas camera a little bit more. So let me use my katana. I'll use the other. That's a pearl, that's a pearl, that's a pearl, that's a pearl. I use 3 different size pearls. Just like in a mix, I like to use 3 different sizes. Whatever just 3 different sizes. You decide whatever. I didn't want to go with 30s, so I went with 20s and 16s and one like kind of pinchish of 12s, because if you use larger stones, it's going to take up more surface area. So I wanted to do this on the quicker side, and also I know that with the 3 different sizes, it does create a nice sparkle, because the light will reflect differently from the different sizes. There's also, you see the ones that look like a little bit like they're pinkish, whatever. Those are our Nixie Malmado bubbles, or mermaid tears from other companies, to give it a little, not only texture but a visual texture. So you have the pearls, which are a white, and then you have clear or crystal, and then you have chalk. And chalk is, people either like it or hate it. I personally like it. It is very strong. it will reflect the light that's hitting it, like a window or just a piece of glass, where the crystal has and although there's facets on the chalk, it doesn't reflect as much as the clear. But from a distance, this looks amazing. This really looks really super cool. Hi, Oracle. Thanks, Melissa. Um, so I decided, I knew I wanted white. I knew that the clear would pick up the kind of the glitter or the silver in the vinyl here. There's black, and I just used jet, which should just show a little bit of sparkle. Yeah, there we go. You can see the sparkle there. Now the bottom of the brim here was also clear, but I wanted to create this band because I did. Very simple. Don't forget, I've said this before, maybe Kelly or other people have said it. When you have a border such as this, it's like a picture frame. It frames your artwork, it frames what you're working on. So the thing is that I wanted to do this in black to keep kind of the symmetry of what was going on there, and I think it kind of looks cool. Of course, someone that's right. You always have to make sure your edges are nice and clean. And that's what I wanted to say is here. Yeah, you can see that. You have to just make sure this line is nice and whatever you determine your line is going to be, because there is, it's not really stitching, but it's the vinyl. It makes a lip. So when I do the top, I will do up to the lip, and that's going to be basically a nice straight line, which will be a perfect line. The black was really simple. I just pushed the jet crystals right to the edge, and it makes a nice clear line. Now, the other thing I wanted to tell you, hi Lily, is the edge right here, a 20 will fit beautifully. And this is the mix I made over here. I got to put my glasses on so I can kind of see. I need to move something out of the way so I can have full. Okay, cool. Can't post it. Where can I get that? You know something? I borrowed the hat from a friend. I was looking online and I didn't find it. So I'm sorry that I can't tell you exactly where. Hi Laura, where you can get the hat, but I know that they're common. I'm sorry I didn't. I'll do a better search and find out, or I'll ask him where he got it. So listen, this is a 20, and it is. Let me see on camera. Yeah, it's a 20, and it's the chalk, and normally it would fit amazing on that, right? So I'm going to use jet, but I'm not going to use a 20. I'm actually going to go smaller. And the reason I'm going to go smaller is because you will be picking up the hat like this and you're going to be holding this. So there is a little bit of it bows, how to say, it's a little bit round. If this was a flat line, like on wood, paper, metal, glass, a tumbler, whatever, then yeah, for sure I would use the 20. But I decided I don't want to do it because I wanted to.
I'm popping a link in for a black one that is similar to that, and
Okay.
then it'll help them get keywords.
Okay, Kelly is putting in a link for a black one, and that will help you with keywords to find. And mind you, this is this one. They come. I know they come in tons of colors, so, and fabric. And actually, I had wished that it was fabric, and then the fusion-tack would have been perfect for it. Am I on camera? Yes, as long as I'm on camera. And listen, I am putting the glue on heavy because I do want it. I want a bigger bond in the surface so that, and I am pushing it around. And when I flip over to the other side and I work on the clear part, I'll show you what I did also, because sometimes people have projects and it will, something could rip off in a whole sheet. Now, I don't think this is gonna rip off. I mean, because I've used my, you can hear this. I've scratched it. If you dig your nail and you can pull off everything on here without question. But generally speaking, this is on there pretty well, and I've already bent it and moved it around, and it's nothing's come off. So that gives me confidence that that's a good thing. So
Mom
as a,
said it looks like the Rockettes.
what's that?
It makes her think of the Rockettes. I put it on the
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, that's awesome. The rockets, they're pretty amazing. So listen, this is your edge, and I am putting the crystals on the widest part of this little band. So that means that's the most surface area. And that's why I chose the 16s, because if I use the 20s, part of the crystal would not be on the vinyl, which means there it might be easier for it to pop off, pull off, or whatever. So I'm just going to do a few more of these. I don't need to do the whole thing because it's not necessary. Um, but again, make sure your line is perfectly straight. You establish, well, this one you can't, the surface I'm working on is establishing where I'm leaving, where I'm putting the crystals down. All right, I'm gonna do two more. No, I'm just gonna do one more, and that is good enough. And then I'm gonna flip it over, and I'm gonna recheck to see if I like my line. That one's a little bit out. There we go. And you can see it's a little puddly, and I don't mind. I actually want that on this project. I want a little more glue than is necessary. Just in my mind, whether it's true or not, um, it it's holding on a little bit more. There's awesome anytime there's stitching on a on fabric, a hat, boots, whatever. Stitching is an awesome place to glue on, because usually the stitching is a cotton or polyester or natural. Even if it's not natural, but there's more nooks and crannies that. Okay, Kelly's sending you a whole bunch of stuff.
I just mentioned the tool and then I put the link for the sale.
Okay. Yep, Kelly mentioned the tool, the original. I'm gonna get to that after. But yeah, this is the original 10-year happy birthday, the bamboo katana. You get the katana with 2 replacement tips, so that's an awesome, awesome deal. Someone was here last week and they had a heavy hand, and this would be great for you to take advantage of. Now, I have wet glue, so I don't want to put that down. But let me see. Yeah, good. It's awesome. I wanted to show you that you can see the way the light is reflecting. Mind you, I did sand this and then alcohol wipe it just to give it a little scratch. I don't think you can see the scratch. I can see that it's scratched. But what I wanted to show you is that there is a dip here. The light will change and then it raises. There's a little dip there. There's a big dip here and another over here. It's something that you want to think about. Now, granted, you could stick your fingers in and press it all out, and it would be all the same level. But oh, that looked awful on camera. The same level. But the thing is, this is vinyl, and that's the way it's going to be. So what I will do is on these little like valleys, these little lower parts, I'm going to use the smaller stones because it means again there's more surface contact of the crystal on. Yes, Oracle, you have a heavy hand, so yeah. So if you don't have a bamboo, maybe you want to get a bamboo and you actually get 3 tips, the original and 2 others. Yeah, and yes, a light touch is all you need. I'm just going to throw some of these here on the workspace, and you can see that it's just a light touch. I mean, once you've been doing it, you kind of figure you don't have to stab. You don't have to stab. So, all right. Let me see. Where's it wet? Okay. That's fine. Another. So what I'm trying to say is that you have to pay attention to the surface area. it might give you limitations or dictate how you place your stones. I took in consideration these dips. I mean, I could ignore them and I could just push them out and put anything on there, but I think a smaller stone is going to give you more surface contact, which is something, it means more security. I don't know if this is too, no, this is not too close to the camera.
Looks good.
So, huh?
It looks good.
Yeah. So here you can see there is, yeah. So from here to here, the vinyl is like flat and then it curves down. So I placed the crystals on that flat surface and then I'll put something, two small ones here because that's still on the, say, that flat plane, and then it curves down and then I can do whatever the heck I want. And the reason I'm saying that is just, again, these are little small tips to help you ensure that you'll have less things popping off or whatever on any project. The more surface area for your stones, then you know it's going to adhere really well. Again, I'm putting this on rather thick because I do want it, because that's what I want. And if you want to know why, that's what I want. No, it's because I feel it adds like a second layer of, it's glue, but a second layer of just even say vinyl, even so it's not vinyl. Do you know what I mean? I just want it, and by doing it in patches, and the glue will be connected. If there was any problem, it won't rip off in the sheet. Just a little section would rip off. But again, I'm like completely confident that this will be fine. So if you were here last week, you know I had this mixture of pearls and I divide it in half because these are my feature pieces and I have half for this side and half for the other side. That way you don't suddenly, oh my God, I love these pearls, and like you do 30 of them right here, and then you have 3 on the other side, and then your piece is all not so great. It's not evenly distributed. Yes, glad you like that, Oracle. So anyway, there is many ways to skin a cat, and this is the way I'm skinning my cat. So I have 3 different, oh no, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, actually 4 different, say, colors or textures. So I'm doing it this way because that's how my eye sees it. Doesn't mean your eye is going to see it that way. But I am randomly placing a couple of pearls. Because this glue stays nice and wet and you can move things around, you can adjust, and you'll see me readjust as I go. Is that a good position? That's a good position.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing is, because I really love these little Malmedo, is that I am placing them kind of evenly, and evenly just means the way I see that it's kind of balanced, that they're placed all around the place. So I am randomly, but also not randomly, because I'm going to work with each say color or texture or something. So I think that's probably could, yeah, let's get a little heavy there. Put that there. So there's there you go. There's a little bit of balance now. The other thing I decided is that there is going to be a nice space between, oh, here, you know something I just noticed? I remember I did this earlier. I had wet glue and I was holding it with my hand and it smudged. So my nice little line there is kind of messed up. So luckily it smudged down enough that I can just throw a crystal in there and it's balanced. But what I wanted to say is that, let me see, any questions? Love the tool, wonderful, is that I'm keeping a really, no stones are touching each other. I'm keeping it spacey. That allows for to be able to bend and no crystals are touching each other and they would like force themselves off because it's glass on glass or glass on plastic. Okay, so I did a couple of pearls. I did some of the Malmedo, and now I want to do the chalk. I am randomly picking sizes, and shortly I will be like, well, I need something smaller. I'd like something bigger. Here's one of those dents, okay, or rivets or whatever you want to call it. So I'm using the smallest, which is these are 16s. I know there's some 12s in there somewhere. There's a 12, and I'll just shove that in there. Again, leave space. Wait, and you can see. Can you see? The light is really glary, but there's more white there up there, so I want to add another one down there. I'm using the edge of the hat as a nice clean line, so I am going to throw in now the clear. And then if anything is touching or almost touching, I move it around. And it will unfold in front of your eyes, and suddenly you're like, wow, that looks all balanced. And yeah, for me, it pretty much is. But there are many ways of blinging or putting stones on your items. The thing is that you have to ask yourself, if you're creating something, what is the effect that you want to achieve? Just before we went live, I was standing in the doorway, and Kelly was in the warehouse, and she said, no, she could see it on camera, and she said it looked really great. And I said, wait till I step into the warehouse, and from a distance, this looks amazing because it sparkles like crazy, and you don't see all the details of the different textures or anything. But I kind of find that exciting because it's like you have an impression of what it looks like from afar, and then if you would get close up, you'd be like, oh my God, there's a lot going on there. That's super cool. So I'm filling in. Yeah, and this is a pretty good balance. So I'm glad I'm demonstrating and showing you everything at the same time. It's walking and talking and rubbing your tummy at the same time. Okay, and I'm pull that, and I'm gonna throw. And there, do not worry. You can always have two of the stones next to each other. This is a type of sprinkle fill. There's no police gonna come and say, oh, don't put that there. But all right, so that's pretty good. All right, I'm gonna do a little bit more. How are we doing at the time? Okay, we've got plenty of time. Perfect. Minute, exactly.
And then when you're done,
yeah,
you can take the hat in one hand and take the phone off, and then
go
into the light.
Perfect.
And
Yeah.
I like how the lights aren't on right now.
Well,
like, turn on once you get out.
Yeah.
It'll be even more awesome.
Okay. So again, I'm not, this is not normally how I would do it, but I am just gonna. I did the pearls the first time. Okay, perfect. Now I'm gonna do some chalk. Anybody have any questions? Okay.
People, they're quiet today.
Okay. Well, glad you're all here. Now I just did something which I'm actually famous. I did a project at home one time, and I think I did one area. I am not kidding you, 5 times, because I put my hand in it to use it as my guideline 5 times. Squished everything off and had to redo it. So I just did that. So maybe I can fix that. So don't do that. Try to remember where you have your wet glue. All right. And as you see, I am throwing them around, putting the Malmado. Now, again with, don't like that there. Move that down, that's fine. It's what you are trying to create. As I said originally, I wanted to use mostly 20s just to cover up the space quickly. And like I said, I always like to use, or I think pretty much here at Crystal Ninja, we like to use at least 3 sizes because it allows for a nice variety in texture. But I wanted, as I said, I'm using the clear to take out the silver. I could have done the whole thing in clear. I could have done the whole thing in pearls, and I could have done the whole thing and chalk, and it would have a totally different effect. The only thing that would have stayed the same is the black jet. Now, I also could have used Black Diamond Shadow on it, and that is a black with a little bit like it's clear at the same time. Is that right, Kelly, how I say that?
Yes.
You know, there is light going through it, but because I started with jet and made it strong, and it makes a really thick line. Granted, if I used a transparent, not our transparent stones, but like the chalk is opaque, you can't see through it. The clear, you can see through it. So if I use the Black Diamond Shadow, it would be black, but you could also see it would reflect the light differently, and it would have a different effect. I chose not to go that way. But again, I've said multiple times, if you've tuned into me before, it's your imagination. Whatever whatever you can imagine, you can probably make it happen. But that's why I chose this thing. Now, I will tell you, I do have my little, this is definitely my cheat. Sometimes if this space, a tiny space annoys me, I have a little bit of luminous in there. And so there are a few random luminous. Now, mind you, I could just move this around and even out the spacing. And remember, I've said this before, keep your spacing consistent, whatever that is, and your piece will look fantastic because you've decided you have consistency, whatever it is. And there will be balance in that consistency. Okay, I'm going to throw in some more. How are we doing? Okay, a couple more minutes. Let me just finish this section. I'll go over a few things else. And can we fit in? That is too big. So I'm going to use 16 there. I know that there is, I can squeeze something in there. I'm knocking crystals all over the place as I usually do. Glad I could do that for you, show you that nobody's perfect, but we know how to fix it, or at least I know how to fix it. Okay, I like that. Now, as the way you look at it, cool. But you know what? We are now going to go on a little mystery tour. First of all, I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to take the camera off. Okay. You see how pretty that is? You see how it all, so you can see the clear is super shiny and the white is just kind of matte. So it looks like popcorn or whatever. I'm going to come over here to our window, and you can also, I have my close-up glasses so I can't see, but see how sparkly that is? It looks amazing. So you can see the effect here is completely different. So right now, it just looks like it's all covered with crystal clear. But, as you would come up close, you would see that there's a lot going on. So I love to work on something that, let's say, for face value, it looks like one thing, but then when you get closer, there's something else, whether you were, say, using different shades of the same color to create something. But anywho, how. So y'all, that is this hat. It will be finished when I do. Okay, I knocked all these things. Yep, I pushed them all up. There you go. Me and my pushing everything, making a mess. Different, and actually just doing it all smaller, which would create kind of a cool effect because you would have all this chunkiness, and then it's still all the exact same colors, but it would just shine a little bit different. All right, so tune in next week for that when it's all finished. I'm putting that down. Want to remind you again that the 10th anniversary for the bamboo crystal katana with 2 tips, and it's 5 o'clock. I gotta go, people. So thank you so much, and have a great week, and eat tacos today, and stay warm by the fireplace, and get an umbrella or wear a scarf or something. Stay warm.
Floaties.
Huh?
We need floaties.
Yeah, we need floaties here in California. Anyway, take care. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. If you have any questions,